Hello and welcome to NCTV episode 100, a milestone, woohoo! Well, someone's got to celebrate it, so it might as well be me. I started these videos back in the COVID lockdown to provide helpful health tips and to help get people through that period with all the relevant help and advice. And here we are pretty much 4 years later now, and there's still plenty of things that I get asked about in clinic, which I can help to provide some suggestions and insights for. Recently, someone said to me that they had a really bad limp and asked if I could help. So that's what this episode is all about. Also, with Easter 2024 coming up, it's quite apt that you should want to be walking as smoothly as possible, as opposed to almost hopping or lolloping around like the Easter Bunny. So limping affects many of us at some point in our lives, but what causes it? Sometimes it's obvious if you've had a recent strain, sprain or fall whilst playing sport, engaging in leisure activities or having overexerted yourself doing something particularly strenuous. These are the most common culprits causing the limp, and in most of these cases it's likely to be a muscle or ligament that's involved, which could take several days or weeks to resolve. Usually this can be done so with self-management, as the body does a pretty good job of healing itself. In these acute cases where there's pain and inflammation, you can apply a cold compress around the first 72 hours of the injury as part of the RICE acronym, standing for rest, ice, compression and elevation. Then you can introduce heat thereafter as part of a contrast bathing routine, where you can do, say, 5 minutes of cold, 5 minutes of hot, and then 5 minutes of cold again to help speed up the healing process. However, there are some cases where the cause of a limp may not be quite so obvious, and this can potentially be due to something that has been more long-term and chronic, which has built up slowly over a number of weeks and months to the point where you can't even remember where it started. Conditions like osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis or gout can cause pain and stiffness in the joints, leading to a limp. Some of these more chronic conditions may have been going on for so long that joint replacements or other forms of surgery may be required if all other less invasive treatment options have been tried. If caught early though, there are a number of other ways that you can help to manage these conditions and in turn either reduce or eradicate the limp. Firstly, through diet and nutrition. A balanced diet rich in essential nutrients, including vitamins, minerals and antioxidants, supports bone health, muscle function and tissue repair. Also, consuming adequate calcium and vitamin D is particularly important for maintaining strong bones and preventing conditions like osteoporosis. Additionally, anti-inflammatory foods such as fruit, vegetables, fatty fish and nuts can help to reduce inflammation associated with muscle and joint issues, potentially alleviating pain and discomfort. Secondly, a limp can be reduced through exercise. Regular physical exercise is essential for strengthening muscles, improving joint flexibility and enhancing overall mobility. Low-impact exercises like walking, swimming and cycling can be beneficial for individuals experiencing a limp, as they can help maintain cardiovascular health and promote joint health without putting excessive stress through the affected limb. Strengthening exercises targeting specific muscle groups can also help support proper alignment and stability, reducing the risk of further injury or imbalance. Going back to the causes of a limp, and the third one can be fractures and traumatic injuries. Serious injuries like fractures and dislocations require immediate medical attention. While the likes of myself, an osteopath, can provide supportive care during the recovery process, it's crucial to seek urgent care at A&E or from a doctor to properly diagnose, immobilise and treat, especially if you're experiencing severe pain, swelling or deformity combined with the inability to bear weight on the affected limb. In terms of other self-management strategies, these could include wearing supportive and well-fitting footwear to provide stability, cushioning and proper alignment, thus reducing strain on the feet and the lower limbs. Also, postural awareness. Maintaining good posture while sitting, standing and walking is essential for distributing weight evenly and minimising strain on muscles and joints. Stress management is another. Chronic stress can exacerbate muscle and joint symptoms, so incorporating stress reduction techniques such as mindfulness, yoga or deep breathing exercises can help to manage pain and improve overall well-being. And finally, gentle self-massage techniques and targeted stretching exercises can help to relieve muscle tension, improve flexibility and enhance circulation, aiding the recovery process. So there you have it. Limping might slow you down temporarily, but by incorporating these self-management strategies into your daily routine, individuals experiencing a limp can complement these with the likes of osteopathic treatment or other forms of manual or complementary therapies to promote healing and optimise their overall quality of life. And that's it for this week's bite-sized bit to help your health flourish, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye for now.